Hey friends, yesterday I had the wonderful joy of being a part of an organization called Shred. And what it is a group of skaters that have come together to raise money for kids with Spina Bifida. These kids have fought so hard for all their lives to gain mobility. Most are in wheelchairs, and these fundraisers help pay for their stem cell research and injections and new wheelchairs and adaptations to their homes or whatever they may need. So it's really important that we do these fundraisers a couple times a year. And I was very blessed to be a part of yesterday's fundraiser, which was outside, and my job was to talk about the organization, bring my cookbooks and talk about healthy eating and just raise money for these children. And it was a blessing. It was really great. There was a DJ there and vendors all over. The vendor to my left did sourdough bread, so I had a great conversation with her that you'll get to hear. And the vendor to my right made homemade bitters that are for cocktails or for club sodas. And we got to talk about what that was. And then I got to talk to one of the cameramen that were filming all of this. So I hope you like the interviews. I hope that it moves you to go ahead and support this organization and help the kids with Spina Bifida. So enjoy. Sending you lots of love. So we're here at Shred, and I'm going to let you meet my new friend. What's your name?
Nicole Taylor.
All right, Nicole, how did you get started baking? By the way, y'all, she has these beautiful sourdough breads, focaccias, and scones. It looks amazing.
So I have a culinary background and used to work in kitchens, but when my first child was born, I left work to be a stay-at-home mom. So I've been at home for almost 12 years, and this past fall I just felt like I was ready to start doing something for myself again, and sourdough has been in our family. My sourdough starter came from San Francisco in the early 70s by way of my in-laws, and my husband was the sourdough baker up until probably about a year ago, and I took it over and ran with it, and it's been really great, and I have a lot of fun, and it's enjoyable.
Your products are beautiful.
Thank you. It's great because it fits in the family life.
Well, and don't you find that sourdough is so much more digestible, and it really helps you?
Absolutely. It's great. I use organic flour and try and source local ingredients when possible. Especially, I was just telling someone else for the strawberry scones that I have today.
Yes.
Local strawberries, and they're amazing right now.
Now, are you only in the Charlotte area?
I am only in the Charlotte area.
Okay,
yep.
So we're here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And how can people get in touch with you?
I'm on Instagram at wildcrafted_crust.
All right, wildcrafted_crust. Got it. All right, my friends, make sure you look it up. All right, hey y'all, this is my friend Vic, and we're here at Shred, the Shred event to help children and adults with Spina Bifida. And he is amazing with his hot dogs.
Mm-hmm.
He used to be Vic the Chili Man, but now he's just, just a regular crazy person. So I want I want Vic to explain how he got in the hot dog world and how he got out of it and what he's doing now.
So I was in the restaurant business, and because of my not calm personality,
he's a spaz.
I'm a spaz and I'm loud, and so when the managers or owners used to get on my bag and say I'm too loud or I'm too this or I'm too wild, but I was bringing people through the door, I was always in trouble. And I remember telling one of my bosses, I said, dude, I'm just going to go ahead and start my own thing, and I'm going to be popular and I'm going to be busy because of my personality.
You had lines and lines of people every day.
Every day. It was for lunch, it was 30 to 40 minutes at a hot dog cart. It was the craziest thing, sometimes longer. So I did this hot dog cart literally to throw in the face of every boss I ever had who didn't believe that being fun and being loud and being silly is a good thing. I wasn't doing fine dining. I was like coffee and pizza, and it was crazy. Got into that, became very popular, was voted best hot dog in America twice by Yelp.
We were right next to each other in the paper.
Yeah, oh, that's right. We sure were.
We were.
And then my body just started to give out. Here I am 17 years in, and I was in my 50s, and my ankles are not great and my knees are not great, and
we're working on that.
We're getting there little by little. I skate a lot less, but during that time so the hot dogging does tie very closely into the Shred, and why Shred, skaters helping realize extraordinary dreams, where we use art and skateboarding to help families whose children have extraordinary medical needs. boom, elevator pitch. And
So good.
Because at that point when I decided to start this, people uptown trusted me, and they knew me, and they knew that if I was doing something, what I was raising money for, they trusted that was going to happen. I think that was my lead in to success. So I started because my new neighbor came in, and their little boy was in a wheelchair, and I said, hey, what's going on with that? Why is this 2-year-old in a wheelchair? He's got spina bifida. Okay, I don't know what that is. And then they told me. I was like, oh, that's horrifying. And it's like, what do you guys do for that? They said, we go to China or we go to Mexico so he can get stem cell treatments.
Right.
They sound expensive, says I. And they said, it sure is. And we talked about it. I said, the skateboarding community wanted to do something. We wanted to raise money for something. Can we help you out? Do you have a problem with the skateboarding community? They're like, we don't have a problem with anyone who wants to help us make money. I and my wife put together a skateboarding event down in Rock Hill where we invited skaters and a band, and we had food and everything else. And we landed up raising about $2,500 for his treatments that day. And then it just grew.
And it's huge now.
It's huge now. I mean, we raised $2,500 that first year. Our best year, we've raised over $35,000. It became a art event in the third year, and because I was still making a couple thousand with the skateboarding event, and now I'm making $5,000 with the art event, and then we just grew it and grew it.
You've done amazing work.
We kept adopting more families and giving out more money, and it just is the most wonderful thing that I could think to do with my life and my time, is to find these families. And because my kids are both fine. They're pains in the ass. But physically, we haven't had to go through it. No major surgeries past appendix,
right?
Anything like that. And I just look at these families, and especially when they're young, and it's hard enough to start. It's hard enough to start with a kid. And now you're strapped with $16,000 to take Gabe to Mexico for a treatment. And so it just grew from there. Now we have 7 or 8 families we help specifically. Today's event is for a little boy near Asheville who they're trying to raise the last amounts of money for him to buy his service dog. He does not have spina bifida. He has some genetic disabilities that he needs to have this service dog to help him through school and everything else. They have about 3/4 of the money, and we're not going to raise a ton, but every little bit helps.
It does. And if at the end, if you can give me a link, I'm going to put it in our show notes so that we can get this out to more people.
I will.
Which is my reason for interviewing you. And also, I just really love the work that Vic does. I loved his food, and I love the person that he is. So I had to share that with y'all. And I hope that you will continue to support Vic, because his work is amazing. Hey friends, I'm here with my new friend Jo, and she makes bitters that can be made into great cocktails or mixed with club soda. And I wanted to ask her how she came about creating these things and how it's done. So take it away.
Yes. Hi. Yes, I'm Jo. I'm the Chief Crafting Officer of Regal Reedy Bitters. And I started making bitters about 2 years ago. And my journey before that was, I've always been interested in natural health and plant medicine, and I have a lot of herbalist friends, so I've taken a lot of classes through them. I'm also involved with the North Carolina Herb Association, and they have this wonderful event called Wild Herb Weekend where you hang out with other plant-loving people, and you have amazing classes and speakers. And so I'm just always been drawn to plant energy. And I just started mixing up. I read a bunch of books about bitters, and I took a class with one of my herb friends, and I started with just a couple of flavors, and now I have over 17 different varieties, and I always have new ideas coming up in my head, and I just have fun.
What are bitters made of? How do you make them? An extraction from the plant?
Okay. Yeah, so
fermentation?
Bitters are basically like a tincture, but they're multiple herbs. You use alcohol for the botanical extraction, so you let the botanicals sit in the alcohol for a few weeks. Then I strain off the plant material, and then I add a little bit of local honey, or mostly local honey, but there's a few that I add agave to. Try to get as much organic botanicals as I can source, and the local spirits that I use are locally sourced in Charlotte, and of course I use local honey.
That's so cool. I love it. And as somebody who doesn't drink a lot, I'm going to use it in club soda with a little bit of lemon and make it just a delicious cocktail that way. But I also bought some for my son-in-law to make his old fashions with. And I tell you, these are really potent. They're really great. So how can somebody get in touch with you? Do you have a website? Do you have online? Or just in person?
Yes, I have an Instagram. It's Regal Reedy Bitters on Instagram. And then I have a Square site. If you just Google Regal Reedy Bitters, it should just pop up, or you can just put in the Square. And I do have a rudimentary website that my husband built, but there's also a link to my Square site on that. So
Great.
It should pop up.
Yeah, and I will, in the show notes, I'll put a link in there so y'all can find her. It's really cool stuff. Thank you so much for imparting the knowledge, because I had no idea how they were made.
Yes.
So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
I'm here at Shred, and can you tell us your name, please?
I'm Millennial.
And tell me, what are your favorite foods and what healthy things do you like to eat?
Some of my favorite foods, which is not exactly a healthy thing to eat, is lasagna. But one of my favorite things that is healthy to eat would be pineapple upside down smoothie.
Oh, yummy. How do you make it?
It is spinach, coconut milk, pineapples, and you can add in strawberries if you like strawberries.
Love it. Do you ever put any protein powder in there, or just
You
keep
can. It's a preference type of thing.
All right. I love it. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate it.
No problem.
I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. I know it's a little different, but I wanted to share with you the experience of really participating in this fundraiser and how much it means to the kids that are served. We are very blessed to live lives healthy and whole, and I never forget those that are not. As I shared many times, my mom had ALS, and so I saw the deterioration of her life, and it really made me very sensitive to those that have these challenges. So it's a miracle to see the wonderful work that's being done and the power of coming together to help one another. So I hope I've inspired you to find out more about Spina Bifida and to make a contribution if you are so moved to do that. And as always, you are in my prayers, and I wish you the very best week possible. Sending lots of love. And if you can take a minute and leave a review or send a message and let me know what you'd like to see in the future, I am always open to that. I love to connect. And don't forget to join my free groups on Facebook and check out our products, because all that helps to serve underprivileged moms who need a helping hand. All right, my loves, have a great week.